2, 1, 2, go.
My name is Jared Allen, and I am the band and percussion director at Johns Hopkins Middle School. What led me to come to Johns Hopkins is primarily the clientele. I think it's important educational work to be at low-income, challenging schools. My opinion and perspective is that these kids need it. You know, they need teachers that are going to come in that are going to be committed to them long-term, and that are going to give them a great arts program. It's these kids that need it. I interviewed at a couple other positions in other counties, and it just wasn't Hopkins. And it's no different than any other jobs. It has its ups and downs. It has its challenges. You know, it's not impossible.
1, 2, 1, 2, ready, go.
I believe that the percussion and band program changes lives. I know it changes lives. I won't say the student's name, but I had a student a few years ago, and she came in tears one day and said, I'm gonna miss you, blah, 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 because she was leaving, family was moving to California, and their family moved a lot. But she came in and she was crying, and I said, well, what are you crying about? And she said, well, I don't wanna leave. And I said, why don't you wanna leave? She said, I love steel band, and I've really enjoyed this instrument, and I've really enjoyed learning. And she said, I'm gonna miss you. And I said, oh, that means a lot to me. And she says, well, I'm gonna be honest with you. She said, it's always been my mom since the day I was born. And she said, you're the closest thing I've ever had to a father. And I was like, oh, wow, okay. You know, like, what do you say to that, you know? So it's life-changing. I mean, it's ridiculously life-changing to have the opportunity to not just be part of their lives, but to give them something that they're proud of. I think band, if it's done correctly, it teaches them a sense of ownership, teaches them leadership, teaches them community. There's very much this conception of like, well, St. Pete has no community, it has no unity, it has no support, it's just problems, you know, fighting and conflicts and low-income people. And I have been blown away to see the amount of community support, to see the amount of support there is, not just for the schools, but for the kids, for the good things that are happening in Midtown and South County. And it's a privilege to teach here. I genuinely perceive anybody holding a teaching position or community-based position like that, public servant type position in this area, that's a privilege, because this community doesn't accept everybody. It's not an easy community to be accepted by because they're used to a lot of ingenuine people coming in for the wrong reasons. But if you come in here with the right mindset, and I can't tell you the amount of parents I've talked to on that phone that they'll do anything. There's a deep sense, a deep-rooted sense of community and unity that a lot of people miss by looking at the problems on the surface, that you don't see, that keeps a school like Johns Hopkins as successful as it is. They want the best for their kids, they want the best for their community, and they're invested, and there's a lot of support.